So let me start with my proper introduction. I'm Saqib Sharif. I'm a PhD student in my 4th semester in physics department, and my research interest is accelerating charged particle using laser plasma accelerators. I'm from Pakistan. It's a very diverse country. On one side we are touching Arabian Sea, on the other side we are touching China through Himalayas. We have K2, the second highest peak we ever have. On the right side we have India, on the left side we have Iran and Afghanistan, and we are also touching some part of Russia, Uzbekistan and other countries. So it's geographically it's a very important country. I belong to a very small remote area that is called Hangul. Yeah, the same like Hangbuk, we call it Hangul. It's a very small city. If you will Google it, you will find it somewhere on the border of Afghanistan and Pakistan. So I belong to tribal area. We live in a kind of different tribes. Every mountains have their own family, and that mountain belongs to us. So this kind of life we have. So there's no proper schooling, no proper education, that kind of territory. But the place is awesome. The place is beautiful, green lush mountains. We have freshwater streams, and the air is awesome because we don't have any kind of industry at all in the surroundings of 200 kilometers. So air quality is like, yeah. So you can get maximum of it. The weather is also very nice. So some problems you can say is like we don't have electricity for a much longer period. Yes, if you're lucky enough, you can get it for 12 hours a day, which is good enough. And yeah, nowadays internet is spreading out, but in my part when I was doing my school and college, there's no internet. There was no concept of internet and other communication. We have television, but there was only one channel. We call it Pakistan Television, PTV. And my father only used it for like watching news, that's it. There was nothing else. There was no fun drama, there was no MTV, there was nothing else. So honestly, in our part of the world, like the Pashtun, we are called Pashtun, we speak Pashto language. So we are in Afghanistan and some part of Pakistan, that's it. So we don't have a very good impression of America from long ago actually. First it was Russia, but later on, yeah, people diverted it to America. So there was no real motivation for learning English. Though we were forced to have a course of English in our school, but that was just a course. There was no real motivation to learn it. So we were just getting rid of it. And I really hated it. Yeah, in my school, I was very bad in English. So I was just trying to get over it. Yeah. My grades in science and math was always in 90s. But in English, I was just like begging the teacher, make me pass. That was there were so many reasons. One of the reasons was the teachers. They always come with a bamboo stick and they give us homework. Every day there was homework. What was homework? To memorize everything which is in the book. That's it. So I was very bad with the memorizing stuff. So yeah, times pass away. I was lucky enough to get into the very good college actually. In college, we have this choice to select the subjects, the mix and match of the subject actually. And I asked the person who was the lady actually, she was actually making this choice for the subject. And I told her, is there any collection of subjects without English? Or you can say with minimum English. And she told me, yes, there is. You can have double maths, double physics, and statistics, and computer. And there's only one minor English course. Yes, you will pass it. And they will have like social study and Islamic study. I said, this one is. And I was so happy that, okay, there was no more English. Because I was really bad at it. It was the early days of my college when my uncle, who was colonel in the army, and he was a doctor as well, he was a physician, who was serving in England and some part of the France as well for the UN Peace Force. And he came back to Pakistan. And it was Eid occasion, we have Eid festival, and he came to Pakistan, to my parents' home, for like 1 week with his whole family. And that was my first impression. I came to know I have two beautiful, gorgeous, good-looking cousins. They were pretty, and they were awesome. They were different. Because in my part of the world, we don't have this mixing of this cross-gender mixing. Yeah, girls have separate life, boys have separate life, separate schooling and everything, yeah. And they were liberal because they brought up was in England, and they spent some time in France as well. So they were different. They were charming. They were talking to me. But the problem was because they spent a lot of time in England, they were talking to each other in English. And when their parents English. And when it was my first time when I saw my aunt, she was an old lady speaking English. Why she is speaking English? So I was scared. I tried to get involved with them because it was an Eid festival. Because they can speak Pashto as well, their mother tongue as well. But they were all talking about something which I have no idea what are they talking about. They were talking about Jennifer Lopez, they were talking about Britney Spears, they were talking about Leonardo DiCaprio because Titanic was already released. I had no idea who these people are. What to talk to them about? They were talking about David Beckham. I have no idea who is he. Because for me it was like, with no internet, with no connection to the other world, we have very limited knowledge. I was hit very hard inside. What I'm doing, what they are doing. So I was like, at that time I realized I have to learn English now. Because I was so impressed the way they were talking to each other. So next day I went to an English academy. There was some local academy called Highlight English Academy. I asked them, I want to learn English. They said, this is the place. I went there, I sit in the class, very interesting, very enthusiastic. But they started the same shit actually, which I was afraid of in the class. Grammar, tenses. I said, this is the English? Well, this is the thing which I hated in the class because they started with, again, tenses and memorizing stuff. I realized it's not working for me. So at that time, my brother was kind enough, he gave me a computer, very old computer. So internet, because I was in a different city, internet was also there. I started watching English movies. Some guy told me, you can start watching English movie, it will increase your English power or something. English movies with English subtitles now. Because lots of my Korean language, they're watching English movies with Korean subtitles. This is not good. Watch it with English subtitles. And if I have some problem, I used to pass it. I note down the sentence, and then I discuss with my teachers. And if I have some problem with the word actually, then I used to search for that. So believe me, in the next 2 years when I was graduating from college, my listening power was so much different. I was a different person. But not only the listening power, but actually it changed my way of looking at the thing. I learned new comic sense. Because if you're watching an English movie in English, not in Korean, you will learn a lot from it. The way it is presented, the comic, the sense, everything. But the problem was still there. I was unable to speak. My listening improved, but I was still unable to speak. I was shy enough. But I wanted to speak. So after college, I got an admission for my master degree in the main capital of Pakistan called Islamabad. The university is a very good university, Kazim University. So it's a capital, so we have a lot of foreigners. So in the evening time, I used to come out to the main streets, the main markets. So whenever I need to spot a beautiful foreigner, I follow them and used to talk to them. I used to call them my English language academies. So I was their free guide. I used to provide them my services. They were asking questions. I was most of the time telling them about some things which even I have no idea. For example, some museum, some historical place, but I was telling them something. And they had no idea what they were listening. So after a couple of years when I was graduating from that university, believe me, my English speaking and my listening without any proper education, believe me, my grammar still, I have no idea how this grammar and tenses stuff will go on, but it improved my English a lot. It improved my English a lot. I was a different person actually. After that, I got an opportunity to go abroad. I cleared the TOEIC test with very good grades without going, again I'm repeating, without any books and without any proper study. I'm still very bad in the grammar and this pronunciation thing because I learned it myself. And then I got an opportunity to go abroad and did my master's again from UK, and now I'm here. So again, I'm repeating to you, if you want to learn English, search for your own motivation. You don't need to fall in love with your own cousin. You could have other motivation, Search for the motivation. Why? Why you want to learn English? If you can search it out, if you can dig it out, this motivation, believe me, you will be a different person. That's it. Thank you for today. Next time I will try to bring you something different here.